Hello and welcome back to the backlog. It's been a while, about a month. TV archive viewers are like, "What do you mean a while?" That's, that series is coming back soon, I promise. But we've got the new series reviews to tide you over with a bit less watching prep. Yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming out at the moment. We've got Night of the Seven Kingdoms airing, which I'm going to catch up on very soon.
Mm.
Shrinking season three, which the premiere of that season was very well acclaimed, and I'm excited to check that out. But what we're talking about today, none of that prestige TV nonsense, or is it? It's a Marvel show, which outside of like Daredevil Born Again. I don't think I have had any interest in a Marvel show until I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, "Wow, okay, this looks interesting. It looks meta. It looks more of like a comedy drama."
Mhm.
So it's Wonder Man, in case you were wondering. Clay, I'm going to pass it over to you because I want to hear, because I don't really know actually. What is your history with the MCU, and where are you at with the MCU right now?
Well, I the only Marvel t television show I've seen was WandaVision, except I didn't see the final episode of that. So you can tell that that wasn't much of a priority for me at the time. I've seen I think the last Marvel movie that I've seen was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
It's a good
Um,
one.
it was actually really good. Yeah. I think that series is my favorite thing that the MCU has created. And of course I saw Spider-Man, the new one. That was the last one I saw before that.
I
But
never saw that film. I think I was the only person
whoa.
on the planet Earth who didn't see it.
Yeah. I'm sure you got spoiled on it though. There's lots of lot of discourse that happened around the movie at the time, to say the least.
So yeah, that's interesting. And I guess it's relevant to this discussion. Had you seen Iron Man 3 or Shang-Chi?
Yes, I've seen both of those.
Okay, I had seen Iron Man 3, but I hadn't seen Shang-Chi, and apparently that was the last appearance of Trevor, who is our one of our two leads in the show. For me, I've watched a lot of the Marvel films, but like I've missed out quite a few as well. I never saw Black Panther. I never saw the last Spider-Man film. But then I have seen the last Fantastic Four, which is the last one that came out. So I did see that.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like what has really frustrated me about Marvel, of course, there's like the house style problem, where every Marvel thing looks the same.
Yeah.
Um, I think what annoys me more than that is that there's this expectation that you've watched everything to be able to understand what's going on and to understand the plot of things and who people are, and that people show up and you're meant to be like, oh yeah, that guy from there was a background extra in that film 5 years ago. It's just like so tedious.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
there's like different phases too. I think
yeah,
Wonder Woman is the beginning of phase 6.
which is like crazy. But I think what really drew me to this one is that it seemed not totally separate because you got this character who's been around, but it felt like something fresh that would could feasibly be a standalone story. And
Yeah.
whether that is the case, we will get into. Now, to talk about the actual show, I think for me, the first thing that immediately stood out was the performances and the chemistry of the two leads, Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Ben Kingsley, which is really what I was coming into this for. Two actors I really love. Um, Ben Kingsley has been in so many great movies, but Yahya Abdul-Mateen mainly from the Watchmen HBO series. I thought he was fantastic in that.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so I thought they were great together, and that friendship is really what carries the show for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The dynamic between those two characters is pretty top notch. Definitely. It's a quick binge too. The episodes are very short. Probably like what, like a little over 2 hours for the whole series, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 30 minutes an episode, so it's probably like 3 and a bit hours, but it's
Yeah.
it's it's pretty fast. And you see the episode lengths on Disney Plus like 37 minutes, but then the credits start with like 7 minutes left, so they're really like
Yeah.
30-minute episodes. Um, so what did you think? Look, I'll let take the floor. What were your thoughts?
I love how the focus stayed on Yaya's character as a struggling actor. I love the friendship that developed between him and Slattery. And I like how subtle the powers were too. I'd be excited to see Wonder Man come back, but I'm also totally fine if it ends here because I think as a standalone series it works really well.
I think it was episode 5 was the first fight scene, right? I think
Yeah.
that when it happened, I was like, oh, it hit me more. I was like, oh, cool, like this is happening, but I didn't really miss it.
Mhm.
I think that was really refreshing. I mentioned the two leads. I think it takes a lot of notes from prestige TV shows. Um, I think there's a lot of like taking not cliches but like techniques, let's say, like having the one standalone episode that's not really got anything to do with the main plot, that's a big tangent and it's stylistically different.
Mhm.
Episode 4, that's a big prestige TV thing that a lot of the big prestige TV shows do, and I tend
Yeah.
to enjoy it. There are sometimes it doesn't work so well, but in this I think the Doorman episode was really fun. um
In general, I'm a really big fan of bottle episodes too. Um, like my
yeah,
favorite episode of Breaking Bad is one of my favorites is The Fly, and that's kind of a bottle episode.
that's a whole other video discussion.
Yeah.
um, but I think I, I did enjoy it. I think there's an element though of like the biggest strengths and the biggest weaknesses both lie in the writing for me.
Mhm.
And I guess I'll talk about the strengths first. Um, there's a reveal in the final episode which I will not spoil yet. We'll get into spoilers later. But it feels when you see it written out or you think about it, it's like, yeah, it's quite obvious that this would go to this point. It makes sense for this character, that he would do this and that this would be the natural endpoint of his like arc. But the way it plays out, it feels really unexpected. And when it happens, it's like, oh, that's what we're doing. That's cool. And I think that's a really good skill that the showrunner has here and the writers have here, where the obvious and familiar beats feel unexpected, because it not much that happens here is surprising, really. It pretty much follows the beats you'd expect. There's a couple pretty good cliffhangers, I'll give them that left me thinking, oh my God, where are we going next? One in particular where they are in a house and then they get a phone call and then they have to get in the car and then the episode ends and it's like, oh man, okay, that was
Yeah.
definitely the best cliffhanger. Um, but I also think that there's a little bit of that Marvel writing still in here, that like awkward humor, the like riffing, a lot of riffing of like, oh, why would you say something like that? Why would you? No, I'm not saying anything. And then it just goes on for like 2 minutes, and it's like just really stilted and awkward. So like the dialogue doesn't always grab me, but the sequencing and the general structure of the story and the general writing quality is quite high, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I also really like the look of the show compared to other Marvel series. It's very bright, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was nice. I think setting it in Hollywood kind of helped that, you know,
Yeah.
as well. Um, Very digestible, like you said, with those half-hour episodes. A lot of classic cinema references. There's the
Mm.
running parallel to Midnight Cowboy throughout the show, and I think I said to you, I was just waiting for the everybody's talking needle drop, and then
Yeah.
by the time I got to the final, I was like, "It's going to play over the credits, isn't it?" And then it did. That's fine. It's a great song, and it was a cute reference, and that it doesn't bother me that it was predictable in that sense.
Lots of references to current shows too, like American Horror Story, and there was a reference to Severance too, I
Well, this is the
think.
thing. I think this was another element where the writing was a little bit is like it was this like pop culture humor, which is like not always massively my kind of thing. Um, but most of the time it did work. The American
Yeah.
Story Horror Story stuff in episode 1 was pretty funny though.
Yeah, it was. It was. I like the other characters here too, especially Simon's mom.
Yeah,
I
I love
really,
his dad in
really,
the flashbacks. Man, the
yeah,
cinema trips. Oh, what a guy.
so good.
Okay, we'll get into spoilers then. You have been warned, although apart from one thing, I don't think there is really anything to spoil. And that one thing, of course, in the finale, to redeem himself, Trevor reassumes the mantle of the Mandarin, which was that moment of like, well, of course, that's what's going to happen. But what before it happens, you didn't even think about it because you just see Trevor, and this is Trevor's story. This is not, well, I guess it's Simon's story first and foremost, but Trevor, you seeing Trevor, not the Mandarin, and then when he reassumes the identity, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'm glad that they managed to catch me off guard with that.
Yeah, they certainly did. Other spoilers, I like the backstory in episode 4,
Mm.
um, about Doorman, which basically sets up the theme that actors can no longer have superpowers.
With
It's
Josh Gad,
completely in
right?
black and white. What's that?
Josh Gad.
Yeah, Josh Gad. He was really good. Yeah.
I like the bit where he's like in the guy's stomach. If you've not seen it, you can have no idea what I'm talking about, but
That was great. Episode 5 was another standout for me. Simon exposes his powers in public, and the guy who films it wants his motorcycle back. So there's like this cat and mouse kind of thing. It's very comedic.
yeah, that was like a classic I don't know, like an episode like The Shield or Breaking Bad, but with superpowers, where it's like this really stressful situation and the characters just keep making it worse for themselves.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was great. Um, I think my favorite episode was episode 7, the second to last episode. I
Mm,
absolutely, again, really good writing in that episode because it really sells you on this path of like, it's going to be about Simon. It's going to be about Simon's powers, this interview, and he's getting so worked up about it. And then they get to the interview, and she wants to speak to Trevor. And you're like, oh, it's such a great little bait and switch. And it was one of my
yeah.
favorite moments of the series is watching Ben Kingsley's performance change and him just like sort of shrivel up a bit. Um, yeah, that was
Lee
really great.
Friedman.
Kathy Friedman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so that was probably my favorite episode. I think I loved the structure of it, and then of course the ending where he destroys the warehouse was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Really sets up for episode 8 too.
Mm. What would you say is your favorite episode?
I think episode 5. Yeah, episode 5 and definitely episode 4 too. But episode 5, I found that whole exchange really funny. It was great.
Yeah, I think if I kind of want to talk about the finale because it's quite an unconventional finale, but while being unconventional, if we're going to talk about taking notes from other prestige TV shows, I don't know if you remember the season 1 finale of Barry.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it has
Yeah.
pretty much the same structure as that, where you have your sort of spoilers for season 1 of Barry, I guess. You have your happily ever after ending, and then it like cuts to black, and then it fades back in, and there's like a time jump, and we're somewhere completely different, and there's no explanation. And you look at the time, it's like there's still 15 minutes left of this episode, and it does the same thing. And I instantly thought of that season 1 finale of Barry, and it doesn't quite pull it off as well. I mean, that's a high bar. That's a absolutely stellar episode of television. Um, and I think I did have a bit of an issue where the ending does feel a bit too open-ended for me.
It
But
really does. Yeah.
yeah, I did enjoy the little escapade of like breaking into the prison and all that. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to end like right there too. And it's weird because you look at the time and it says it's like 6 minutes left, but 6 minutes of it is just credits. I don't know. I didn't stick around to see if there was an after credits scene. Was there?
I didn't either. I should probably Google that. I'll
You
cut
know,
this.
Marvel shows or Marvel stuff, they love their after credit scenes.
There is no after credit scene, um, which is interesting because it does end very open ended.
Yeah.
And I wonder if does that mean that we're going to get more of Simon and Trevor? But like you said, I both wouldn't be surprised and wouldn't be annoyed if we didn't because especially up to that like hard cut when Simon's at the premiere and of course Joe Pantoliano who we've not mentioned. He was great in this as well. Um,
Mhm.
uh, and then you have that little bit at the end. I don't know. It wouldn't be my least favorite episode, the finale, but it's not one of my favorites either, just because of that. Like, it depends where we're going with it. If we're doing Wonder Man season two, great. But if we're setting up for Wonder Man and Trevor to appear in like the new Spider-Man film, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
agree. It was very abrupt. It was really abrupt.
yeah, of course, Arian. Oh, I'm going to butcher the name. Moyad,
Close
Stewie from Succession. I don't know. Um, he was in this as well. Kind of typecast, I guess. He's basically
enough.
playing the same like kind of um annoying, like pain in the ass type character. But he plays it well. So and yeah, Joe Pantoliano. I was a big Sopranos fan, big Memento fan, like The Matrix as well. It's always
Yeah.
great to see Joe Pantoliano in things. Um, and he is really good in this. And there's a lot of Joe Pantoliano related humor. So if you like Joe Pantoliano related humor, you'll like Wonder Man.
Yeah. I think Slattery and Simon's relationship really evolves after episode three, once he gets to meet his family. Um,
Yeah. I think episode three is the first like great episode of the show. I think for
yeah.
me the weakest two episodes would be the first two, especially episode two. I was like, eh. And then episode three onwards, it finds its feet for sure.
Yeah. And I like Simon's brother. He doesn't really take him seriously as an actor. So that left a lot of, and then you get the argument where he breaks the kitchen table.
Yeah, it's great, and it's interesting as well. Like Ben Kingsley's accent in this show is so odd. It's like part Liverpool, part Yorkshire, part like Newcastle. But then I found out that's his natural accent. Apparently,
Really?
that's his. I thought he was just putting on a weird voice, but yeah, because you don't often hear him do his natural accent. He's usually like doing a different kind of. He does a lot of different kind of roles of different people with different voices. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool to find out. But honestly, I think he was fantastic in this, and I'm not necessarily saying best supporting actor Emmy nomination, but I think he was one of the best things about the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be mad if the Emmys gave this a nomination for Best Limited Series. Um,
Yeah,
maybe not a win,
it
but
depends if we're doing season two or not. I don't know if it is a limited series or not. I suppose it probably
sure.
is, right?
I think so. I
Mm.
think so.
Which is just again just weird that they're doing the open-ended ending thing. Um,
Yeah.
Unless like Wonder Man, I guess he would kind of fit with. I've not seen the film, but I think he would kind of fit with like the Thunderbolts vibe from what I've
Mm.
seen of Thunderbolts. Like I don't know, but yeah. Any other thoughts before we close?
I think that's pretty much it. Let me just look at my notes here. Um, episode one was fine. It wasn't my favorite. It's probably my least favorite of the entire series, to be honest. But it sets everything up pretty well. Um,
What would you score the show out of 10?
I would give it a 7.3. I'd
Okay, respectable. I've
yeah,
got it as a 7.6 on my
not
average
bad.
episode rating score, so that's we're pretty close.
Better than his and her.
His and
Um,
hers. He did it
his
again.
and hers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was a solid show, like a B minus B kind of show,
Yeah.
entertaining, passes a few hours. Um, yeah, there's worse things to watch for sure. A lot of worse things to watch. Will it be top 10 TV shows of the year? Probably not, unless you
Yeah.
have a pretty bad year. Could be at the bottom of the top 10, but it's serviceable. Very nice show.
Mm.
So as mentioned, I think our next one, Clay and I, will be Night of the Seven Kingdoms,
Yeah.
which will be concluding in a couple weeks. I'll get caught up. It's another nice quick watch. And then after that, probably Shrinking season 3 in April, unless we find something else between those. We've talked about as well doing a classic show, potentially. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for
Yeah.
that. We've got TV archive coming. We're going to carry on with the Inside Number Nine. I am going to start doing video game content and film content and book content eventually. You just
Love
got
to
to
see it.
bear with the guy with a full-time job and other things to do. But when inspiration and time coincide, I'll be working on stuff here. So
I do
thank
want
you.
to add that I did see Fallout season two. So that landed into my 2026 ratings, and I gave that a 7.7, I think.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. I've heard mixed things. Basically, I've heard that people who have not played the games liked it, and people who have played, specifically Fallout New Vegas, did not like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm the former. I haven't played the games,
there
so.
we go. I mean, I know Fallout New Vegas is considered like one of, if not the greatest video game of all time,
Mm,
and it very much is based around multiple choice and having several different endings. So the fact that you've put it in a TV show and you've given it a definitive ending, I think immediately made a lot of fans upset. But it's
yeah.
an adaptation. You
Absolutely.
feel
Yeah.
free to do it. I do like the casting of Justin Theroux as Mr. House, though. That's cool.
Oh yeah, he's great.
That's cool.
He's great.
Maybe I'd never finished Fallout Season 1, so maybe I'll go back. Who knows? Um,
Nice.
so yeah, come back in a couple of weeks for Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm excited to watch it. I've heard really good things, especially about the most recent episode. So
Yeah, I hear it's a 9.7.
yeah, on
Um,
IMDb, yeah, that's crazy. So
I've
yeah,
seen the first three, so I'm not quite there yet, but I'll probably watch it tonight.
that'll be exciting. All right, thank you very much, Clay, for joining me again,
Or
and
yes, sir. Yep.
thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you again very soon, hopefully.